Hello, this is Greg from Playwrighter. This video is designed to teach you some of the ins and outs of creating and editing questions on Playwrighter. If you want to know things like, how many questions make for a good set? How do I do multiple choice? And what makes good and bad questions anyway? Well, this video is designed to teach you all of that. Let's start with how many questions a good set should have. The answer to that really depends on your feelings about repeating questions. If you don't want any questions to repeat, you really need to enter at least 30. On the other hand, if you think a little bit of repetition might be just what the doctor ordered, suppose you're practicing verb endings or the dates of kings and queens, using 15 or even fewer is totally fine. Onwards to multiple choice. We're working on making this a little bit more obvious, but for now, here's how you do it. To make a multiple choice question, we first need a question. So let's have one of those. Then, we need some possibilities. Put a square brackets and separate the possible answers with slashes. Make sure you close the square brackets at the end. And that's your question. Move over to the answer and type in the right answer, just like you normally would. That's it. Finally, let's talk about good and bad questions. The question you're looking at is an example of a bad question. A computer is stupid. If a student typed something like, "to become King of Scotland," it wouldn't know that this meant the same thing as the answer. So students will have correct answers rejected, and they'll get frustrated. In general, it's best to avoid any sort of question where the answer has to be more than 1 or 2 words. This question is a little bit better. There's only one answer, so it looks like it would be hard for knowledgeable students to get it wrong. But what happens if they just type Churchill? We certainly don't want to mark that as wrong, and the computer is stupid enough to do just that unless we tell it not to. So let's fix it. We put a comma after the end of the last answer, and we type in the alternative answer just afterwards. Now the computer will know to accept both. How about this? This time we need even more alternative answers. How about Lancaster? Lancastrians? Henry Tudor? And perhaps even Henry VII. Now we can be sure that a student who gets it right really will get it right. So, let's sum it up. A good set should be around 30 questions, and every question should have a clearly defined answer. Try to get into the heads of your students and think of alternative answers that you'd mark as correct if you were the one holding the red pen. And if all else fails, well, there's always multiple choice.